Alright, I'm doing this video because what if one decision that you made to give up something that maybe you cared about that wasn't good for you changed the whole course of your life? What if? What if this decision changed everything about you in general? I mean, how would that affect you? How do you think that maybe in a time, and then the thought occurred to me, what in a higher timeline, like maybe something of your higher self was telling you, like in that movie Peggy Sue Got Married, that if you did something else wouldn't happen in the future. In the movie, she had, if she didn't marry the one guy that she got ended up getting divorced years later, she wouldn't have had her kids. And she chose to still make the same mistake because of her kids. But what if you decided to do something and a course of some action never came to being? How would that affect you? Sometimes I guess that you gotta weigh your choices. And I thought, maybe our higher selves are just higher timelines warning us ahead of time. And maybe just listening to your intuition, you can maybe sometimes get yourself out of this situation. Like love story, unfinished love story. Maybe that could be. I'm just pulling random cards here for some people's love, maybe just food for thought. Just a little food for thought, not nothing. And I was thinking to myself, sometimes when you think like it's the end of the world, sometimes your whole life changes and you don't know why. And then we have here recording. Something was recorded. So, maybe a recording wouldn't have got made because you chose to maybe undo a decision. And maybe it could be for not everyone. This is just a general idea, maybe. If you guys are having thoughts about things, maybe this is what's going on. Maybe your higher self is telling you that. I don't know. I'm just seeing what spirit gives me in the cards here. And then here, fulfilling a fantasy. Maybe you were just fulfilling a fantasy. And if you just don't do that one event, and maybe you might not get divorced, you might still be with your soulmate. For some of you, I don't know. But the thought just occurred to me, because I feel like our higher self reminds us of our mistakes, and maybe what you're thinking about happened in another timeline. And it's yourself warning you that in this multiverse of things that happen, that is like that. And I think this one's depression. I'm trying to not put on my glasses, but I might have to, y'all. It might lead to depression. Maybe you might be depressed over a love story that was once upon a time. And let's see what else we get. I mean, these are just random possibilities. I was figure I'd get a couple cards here. Burning evidence. You might not have to burn evidence on a recording. Right here. You might not have to burn evidence on a recording. Maybe it's your higher self telling you that you've already lived that in a higher timeline, and it's trying to have you not make that same mistake. I mean, we don't know about these things. I do believe these things exist. And then fulfilling a fantasy, and check yourself. Maybe Your higher self's telling you to check yourself on fulfilling a fantasy. I don't know if it resonates with anyone, but this is what I got. And I hope it was helpful to somebody. But I'm going to probably get some rest and go to work, and I'll probably do a live tomorrow, y'all. And I hope everyone's having a great day. And if you like these little readings, come join me on Chong the Dog, because I like to have new friends join the Chong the Dog community, because we're a collective community that cares about animals and humanity. At least I feel like my subscribers do. I do. And I will see you in the next one. Peace, friends.